This is the BenQ Zowie 2546k. This monitor has some insane zero blur technology, and I've actually visited a booth at Gamescom 2019 and I got a personal demonstration for how this new blur reduction technology called dynamic accuracy, aka DIAC, works. When it comes down to FPS games like CSGO or any battle royale games, it's a real advantage to have higher refresh rates on your monitor. This monitor goes up to 240Hz, and from my experience, the best on the market when it comes down to TN panels, and combining that with the zero blur technology, that makes it a real crusher. There are other monitors out there in the market that have similar blur reduction technologies, but they often have some type of compromises like floating artifacts or low brightness while having the blur reduction mode activated. So here's an example showing an image of a small UFO moving from the left side to the right side with motion. And on this image you can also see two other monitors, one of them being the fastest monitor available on the market with 360Hz. But as you can see to the right, the difference of the motion blur technology makes it absolutely astonishing. I highly recommend you guys going up to BenQ's booths at events, hopefully soon after COVID, and just having a look at their insane monitor technology that they developed through the years. The monitor base, as you can see, is pretty compact and seems to have shrunken compared to the past models from the Zowie series. I actually have an older design of this monitor, which is back in Sweden in my other setup, and this new one looks much more slimmer and nicer and just more cleaner actually. This then also has multiple functions, meaning you can change the height, increase the height, tilt the entire base of the monitor. It just comes down to how you play your games. For example, if you tilt your keyboard while gaming, well, you can tilt the stand as well, and it will just look much more nicer and you'll feel much more nicer. Or maybe if you play very close to your monitor, like you see those pros in the tournaments, yeah, it just comes down to how you play, and it has all those functions ready for you. Design wise, this monitor is pretty clean and sleek looking, and something to note is that these bezels are a bit thick. These bezels play a part though, as they help you stay focused in the game. It's definitely not one of those flashy RGB monitors. This is a highly professional monitor for competitive gaming. You see a lot of pro players use the Zowie lineup, and that doesn't come as a shock when you put the 2546k into test. This is a very competitive monitor. The colors are very crispy and accurate, being a TN panel. You have very different settings and many settings as well when it comes down to what works best for you in your game. But you also have this little device, it's like a button where you can press around if you want to do that instead of pressing behind the monitor. That's also really handy. Something that I'm missing and I would love to see from these BenQ monitors is a permanent crosshair feature. It's just like a permanent feature where it just sits on the middle of the screen, a crosshair, and just sits there while you're playing any game it is, you know. It really helps with sniping and going around corners in FPS games. This is something I love to see BenQ add onto future monitors. I really want to see something similar on this monitor, but with an IPS panel and same qualities. You know, IPS panels have gotten really popular recently, and I want to see something happen, you know, with 240Hz and the IPS panel, and you know, the amazing blur reduction as well. That's it for this review, guys. I recommend you guys getting this monitor if you do play FPS games and you know, competitive games like Valorant, CSGO, battle royale games as well, you know. But if you don't and you play a lot of, you know, story games or, you know, slower paced games, MMOs, open world games, then you should definitely check out the mobiuz line, because there's some really good monitors over there. Stay tuned for some more reviews as well, guys, and I'll see you guys on my next live stream. Take care, guys. Peace.